when Cameron was in Egypt's land. Let my Cameron go.
Hey folks, it got creepy quiet all of a sudden. Power went out. So now, outside of the occasional vehicle driving by, ooh. So, got a bit of a candlelight vigil here. Take advantage of the time. Do a little have a pipe with me in response to Cat Dad's 100 sub gaw that he's doing. Congratulations, Cosmo. We're gonna do a little candlelight story time. So, I was an Eagle Scout growing up. You may know that from a previous video, I think. Oh, by the way, my old friend the Bing. And in it, my old friend Capstan Blue. It's delicious. So, I used to, in Scouts, I used to work at the Boy Scout camp down in Southern Ohio. That's Ohio for you non-Southern Ohio folk. And it's out in the back country. Great campgrounds. And it's getting shut down. Had a lot of good memories there. But yeah, I worked there for a couple years, a couple summers. They have this program called the Frontiersman Program. And it's a program that's actually moving to the other campground that is staying open. Which is good. So, the Frontiersman Program was a program that had 3 ranks: Pioneer, Trapper, Mountain Man. And it was, the purpose of it was to enhance your outdoor skills that you were already proficient with in your regular scouting life, but just to take it up even further, a further notch. You know, you can work a knife. Okay, great, now work it in this way. You can tie this many knots proficiently. Okay, now how about these ones, and why do you use them, what situations, what weather, you know, all that kind of stuff. Fire, start it in this way. Okay, you know, you eventually, like Mountain Man, the only way you could start a fire was with a bow drill, which is not easy for most people. You know, learn all sorts of things about nature, what you can consume, what you can't. You know, identify sassafras, make tea out of it, some things like that. And it's a lot of fun. Well, Yeah, so when you're a part of the program for that week that you're at camp, you go up on Wednesday night and do an overnight hike way up in the hills. And when when you're preparing for this, you head up and, well, they have a flagpole raising that morning, and the flagpole is just this log with a piece of canvas and a raccoon tail tied to it with twine. And this guy comes out with a black powder rifle, fires it off in the air, and all these guys are carrying this big old log, and they plant it right in the ground. And and they're all going, rah, rah. It's let's take this manly thing and let's knock it up to 11. So we are in front of the trading post the night before the flagpole raising, and I'm just chatting around with a bunch of guys, and they stored the frontiersman flagpole in front of, or behind the trading post. And I'm chatting with a bunch of guys, and all of a sudden I needed to relieve myself, and there's a woods area behind the trading post as well. So I walk around the building, tell the guys I'll be right back. I'm back there doing my business, not even really thinking about it, because you're in the woods, you're a guy, who cares? And I look down, and I realize, I'm standing there, and I'm just doing the typical guy thing, just la-di-da. I find that I'm peeing on the frontiersman flagpole. It's a Tuesday night, but that's not clicking in my head. But either way, I start laughing about it. I go out in front of the building and tell a couple of the other guys what I did. And they thought it was hilarious, so they went back and did the same. So the next morning rolls around. That black powder rifle goes off. And one of the guys I was chatting with is standing right next to me, because we're all out in the parade field doing the regular flag raising for the American flag. But that gunpowder rifle goes off, and he and I watch these guys running with that flagpole across the field, planting that into the ground, not realizing what they were holding. Except for one guy who happened to get coerced into doing the flag raising that morning, and he just so happened to be one of the other guys that peed all over the flagpole with us. You can just imagine how much he washed his hands afterwards. Yeah. So that was fun. Later on that year, being the young individual that I was, got a burr up my butt to desecrate that flagpole again. At this point in time, though, it was a Wednesday evening, and they had already gone up. did they go up a Thursday? It doesn't matter. Either way, the night that they had gone up, I thought, I'm going to do something as a prank, because I love pranks. And I particularly love playing pranks on the guy who was running the show for the Frontiersman program. So I signed myself out of camp at 1, 2 in the morning and drove like mad into town, stopping at the local Walmart. I think I was probably the only person there, minus the 2 staff people that they had working in there at the moment. Wanting to figure out where the spray paint was so I could paint that flagpole. So I get to the aisle where all that is. And lo and behold, I find the perfect color for the Frontiersman program. Hot pink. So I bought 2 or 3 cans of it. Then I drive back into camp, sign myself back in, so it was probably 2:33 in the morning. And I lit that log up. Crazy. All over. I wish I could have seen a better job of what I had done, but I'm sure that thing was as pink as a freshly spanked bottom. So then I threw away the cans and I went to bed. Anticipating the Frontiersman flag lowering ceremony, where they would come down, shoot the black powder rifle off again, and then drag it away in all its pink glory. Unfortunately, I overslept. Add to the unfortunateness, someone came down from the hill early and had seen what color it was and then took it down. So it was not a part of the flag lowering ceremony. But it miffed the program director off something fierce, I guess, which pleased me to no end. And so I walked over to him afterwards, after breakfast. I said, "Hey, I heard about the flagpole. What? I heard it was pink?" He's like, "Yeah. I'm telling you what, I'm not very happy about that. I'm really looking forward to finding out who did that." At this point, I could barely contain myself, so I told him, I said, "Hey, I can find out for you. As a matter of fact, I think I know who did it. I know who did it." And he's like, "Really? Who did it?" And I looked at him and I smiled. I said, "Me." And I turned and walked away. life is good. And it's fun when you have some stories like that to share in the middle of a power outage. Yeah, I'm sure I'm getting text from my wife asking me to come inside. Ah, power's supposed to be back on in 2.5 hours. Oh, that's funny. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that. So, thanks for coming by for story time. Count your blessings. Be thankful for them. When all that's said and done, grace and peace to you.